Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing the AuthorTube Newbie Tag. So I have the questions right here on my phone and I'm ready to start. Alright, let's go. Okay, so question 1 is, how did you find out about AuthorTube? So one day I guess I was just like Googling like writing advice and Camp Nano, and then I saw some Camp Nano YouTube videos, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know these existed. So I checked them out, and I realized it was like a whole community of authors, and I already had a YouTube video where I do like crafts and like cooking videos, I guess. So I decided to make my own AuthorTube channel. Alright, question 2. What genres do you write in? So right now I mainly write in science fiction, horror, thriller. I really have just been drawn to those genres because that's really mainly the genres that I do read. I do read some YA contemporary novels or even some YA sci-fi novels as well. So I am open to writing in those genres. I just haven't explored that side of my writing yet. Question 3. What is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category of story? So my preferred tense, I would say present. Writing in the past is super hard. I like the work in progress that I'm working on now is it's in the past. It's not this time period. And I'm finding it very difficult because I feel like when you write in a time period that's already passed, people are already familiar with it, so your not your setting, well, it depends. Like with my setting, it's an actual like place. So obviously that place has to be as, you know, as correct as possible because people know it, you know. And in this project, you know, there are events that happen in my story that actually happen in real life. So that also has to be, you know, as historically correct as I can make it, with keeping within my genre and, you know, the realm of my story. It doesn't have to be like dead on because obviously it's a fiction, but I would still like to keep some historically correct, you know, aspects just to keep the story as believable as I can. And then point of view is really hard for me because I feel like I never know what point of view I'm supposed to be writing in, and that's where I'm stuck at right now in my story, is that I don't know if I should be writing in third person or maybe like alternating between first person with my main character and then like my villain. So I'm still playing around with point of view. It's definitely something that I struggle with. So I'm looking into like finding books about writing point of view because that's usually what I do when I'm stuck. I try to find like resources that are going to help me push past this. And then what category? I don't know, because my current work in progress would be considered adult because my characters are adult. But I have other stories that I have like drawn up that like I want to eventually work on, and those characters are young adults, so it would be considered a YA novel. So I guess it just depends on the story for that one. Number 4. Are you a plotter, pantser, or planter? That one's hard because I'm a very like structured just person in general. Like I have 3 calendars, my one that's above my desk, my phone calendar, and then I have an actual planner that I carry with me everywhere. And then, you know, I just love to have like structure and a plan for like my life, my days, whatever it may be. But right now, I'm currently trying to outline this novel because just sitting there and painting it was not working, and outlining seems to be nearly impossible, and I'm not really enjoying the process. So I think what I'm going to do is try to be a planner and just do a little bit of both, like maybe have a loose outline and then take that and let the story guide me. That might work for me because I do like to just let my stories guide me, and that's why I love writing prompts so much, because you never know what's going to happen when you just sit down and write. So I guess I would be a planner. Okay, next question. 5. Are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? So currently I am yet to be published. I haven't decided what work in progress I want to be my debut novel. I have so many ideas, and I think that's like my other issue, is that I just need to sit down, organize each idea, and then pick the one that speaks to me most. Pick the one that I just feel drawn to write. So that's gonna be my upcoming like project, like just picking one novel to write. Number 6. What publishing company, literary agent, and or printing company are you represented by or use? If you're not yet published, what is your dream publishing house and or literary agent? I really haven't given much thought to any kind of publishing house. I do think when I do publish my novel, I will most likely go the self-publishing route, because you do have this more sense of freedom, you know. With a publishing house, you're tied down to a contract, you know, sometimes they might not like it, or they might want to change things from your novel, and I just don't think I'm okay with someone else dictating how my stories are to be told. Number 7. What AuthorTube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? So on my channel, I'm going to be doing book reviews, because I do love to read, and they definitely help me, you know, get inspired. I will be doing Write With Me's, where I just, you know, have you guys follow my writing journey for that day, because I am a traveling home health aide. So my schedule is kind of all over the place. I get it basically a month in advance from one client, and then obviously 2 other my clients are just basically set in stone. I'm there on these days at these times all the time. So it really depends on I have another client that I'm with, like, not as often, but whenever she needs me. So as long as I can, you know, sit and plan writing time, I will be writing, recording, and posting that for you guys. I will also have day in the life vlogs, and I'm going to maybe do some writing advice videos. I'm not quite sure yet, but that's definitely a possibility. When did you start writing? Which is question number 8. I started writing, I guess, like 15, no. Yeah, I was like 13-ish, I guess. I'm 25 now, so it's a couple of years. But when I started writing, I wasn't writing prose. I didn't start writing stories until like 5 years ago, when I started my writing group. Up until that point, I was doing a lot of poetry. So that's the other issue that I'm having, is a transition from poetry to writing. I loved the way poetry's written. I like the way it flows. I just like that whole like the natural feel of most poetry. And that's kind of how I also write, because I never just really transitioned into like storytelling yet. But I like to do both. But I didn't start writing stories until about 5 years ago, but writing in general was about like, I don't know, 10, 11 years ago. Okay, number 9. What is the first story you ever wrote? Well, when I was a senior in high school, I did take a creative writing class, and we did have to write stories, as well as we did poetry. I'm trying to think. I think the first story, like the first short story I wrote, was about clowns and how I'm terrified of them. It's definitely a story that I have somewhere. Like, I have it in like my binder of things that I wrote. And it's not as bad as I'm making it seem. It definitely has like potential to be like a full-length novel, and I've definitely explored that that avenue of expanding it and of actually like working on it and making it an actual work in progress. But that would definitely be the first story I ever wrote. Number 10. What authors have inspired you to write the most? So, starting out in poetry, my favorite author was Edgar Allan Poe, and basically from like discovering him was when like I discovered my true love for writing. I do have a lot of his works behind me. All this back here are like volumes 1 through 10 of all his work, and then I have the Barnes & Noble's version. But he's definitely like up there on the list of reasons why I write. R.L. Stine, I was obsessed with his books when I was younger, and I still to this day read his books. So they would definitely be the top 2 people who have inspired me to start my own writing career. Number 11. Do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you can find time? So scheduling is very, very hard for me. Like, I can't schedule it in advance, if that makes sense. So basically, like, on a day like today, I have 2 clients. One that starts at 9 o'clock and then one at 2:15. So right now it's 8:25. I don't have to leave my house for another 20 minutes. So on days like today, if I wasn't recording, I'd probably be writing. And I'm done and home by noon. And then I don't have to go back to work until 2 o'clock. Well, I don't have to leave until 2 o'clock to get there by 2:15. So from noon till 2, that's a 2-hour time period where I can write. And then I'm home by 5:45, 6 o'clock-ish, and then I have the evening to write. So it just depends on the day and how it's structured, but usually what I'll do is I'll plan out in my planner like the blocks of time that I'm with clients, and then I'll look and see like when can I maximize my in between, my lull time to do some writing or something creative. So that's how I basically schedule my writing time. Number 12. Do you type on a computer, typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? And where do you write in general? So I do have a typewriter because the backlight of computer screens really do bother my eyes. So it took me a long time, and just going to the eye doctor to get glasses probably would have been easier. But to just not to get used to typing on a computer. So I do love typing on my typewriter. I also just like writing things by hand, but never when I'm really like in a flow. because I can't write as fast as like my ideas are coming, but I can type relatively fast. So usually I'll switch between writing on the computer and writing on my typewriter, depending if I can find my glasses. Where I tend to write, because my typewriter is heavy, I do tend to keep that on my desk. I also have a portable typewriter, though that is also very heavy and would be super weird for me to just take it to like Starbucks or something. But I do like to, you know, go somewhere else to write because I do have a dog and he can be very distracting. And just when I'm home, I feel like I should be cleaning or like preparing dinner or just doing something that isn't writing related. So I do like to go to like a Panera, a Starbucks, or maybe even the library to get some writing done. And last question, number 13. What are you most looking forward to now that you're a part of AuthorTube? So I'm looking forward to the fact of like meeting other authors, because I used to live in New Jersey and now I live in Pennsylvania. And when I was in Jersey, I did have my own writing group, and they would come to my house and I would cook and we would write and like just gather like information from each other. I also used to have it at my church because we do have a banquet hall. Since I've moved to Pennsylvania, I really haven't had time to just go out and like meet new people. I did find a few writing groups on Meetup. They're a little far. Like most of them are in Center City, and they're usually at like 7 o'clock in the evening. And like it wouldn't be an issue because I'm only like realistically on paper I'm 30 minutes from Center City, but traffic wise and just rush hour at that time, it would easily take me 2 hours just to get to Center City. So I would never make those writing groups unless they were like on a weekend. There are some writing groups in like Doylestown, but still that's kind of far. I mean, not far, it's still like 30 minutes, but after work I really don't want to drive 30 minutes. Like I wish there was something a little bit closer. But yeah, I'm just excited about the whole community aspect and just finding other writers to maybe, bounce ideas off of, get critique from, and just have friends that are writers. So that is it for the AuthorTube Newbie Tag. I'm very excited to be a part of this community, and I look forward to recording and posting more videos for you guys. So if you like videos like this, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll be sure to post more tags and content like this. And I'll be posting videos every Sunday and Wednesday. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm so excited to continue this journey with you. Bye!